The draw for this season's UEFA Champions League group stage has been made, and it is known now who Barcelona's opponents are going to be. Barca is going to be in Group H of this season's Champions League groups, and it is not H for hell. No, it is H for heaven, maybe, because unlike the usual trend that we've seen with these group stage draws for FC Barcelona, where, over the past couple of seasons, maybe even 3 seasons, they've been drawn against the likes of Juventus, Bayern Munich, Benfica, and Inter Milan, all of whom made relatively deep runs into that Champions League season, except for maybe Juventus, who were equally trash in that year. But never mind all of that, because this time around, Barcelona's group is really, I think it's as good as they could have asked for. It's almost like they asked Barcelona, who do you want to play in this group stage this season? And they picked every single one from like each of the pots that were there, pot 2, pot 3, and pot 4. Because honestly speaking, it's surprising, really. I was fully expecting that at least one of Arsenal, Man United, Dortmund, Milan, and Newcastle United, I was expecting at least one of these teams to wind up in Barca's group. And instead, none of them. Zip, zilch. Instead, Barcelona this time around will be facing FC Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Royal Antwerp. And the only reason I know Royal Antwerp is because during the summer, FC Barcelona, well, not exactly during the summer, but at some point in FC Barcelona's search for a successor to Busquets, they did look at one player from Royal Antwerp, okay? Arthur Vermeeren, I believe his name is pronounced as. So, it's honestly speaking, it should be a given here for FC Barcelona to be in the round of 16, not because I'm underestimating the quality of opponents that they have up against them, but because in comparison to their opponents, the resources that FC Barcelona has at their disposal are vastly, and I mean vastly, superior here, right? It shouldn't even be a competition. Now, having said all of that, I am feeling less confident going into this season's Champions League than I am going into last season's, because you know what, for the first 2 matches especially of last season's Champions League, I thought that our squad was in a very good place. We had all our players available. There was nobody injured. This time around, we're of course going in without Ronald Araujo and without Pedri. Now, we don't exactly expect to miss Araujo so much, considering the fact that, we won't be up against the very best attacks, like, at least 2 of them, like we were last season with Inter and with Bayern Munich. We won't be having any of that this time around, but we are definitely going to miss Pedri, because, Pedri is the kind of guy who you need to unlock teams that are going to play like we expect, Porto to play, for example, because let's not forget, okay, Porto did make a very good run in the Champions League last season. They were only knocked out by Inter Milan in the quarterfinal stages, and both of those games could have gone either way. 2-1 wins for Inter, but they could have easily gone the other way as well for Porto. So we should not make the mistake of underestimating FC Porto. But aside from all of that, not underestimating Porto, and all of that other stuff, okay, not underestimating opponents in general, Barcelona should at least be making the round of 16 this time around. It should definitely be on Xavi's chalkboard, like, guys, this is definitely going to be something we have to get done. And we're going to see right now if this team is capable of doing the business when they are supposed to. Xavi, for goodness sake, do not go into every game with 4 freaking midfielders. We've now seen Lewandowski complaining about it. He said he doesn't get enough support during matches. And quite honestly, I agree with him. He doesn't get enough support. He doesn't get enough of a supply. Aside from Lamine Yamal, who else is looking for him right now? So, keep that in mind, Xavi. Give us 3 attackers. And, well, we'll get into talking about the transfer window as a whole, I think, after everything is over, because right now it's still not yet known what kind of business exactly Barca will be able to get over the line. We should have done Joao Cancelo by now already, but it's not yet done. And now there's talk about Joao Felix, whom I don't even see why we need him. But anywho, we'll talk about all of that probably in a later upload on Wednesday of next week. So for today, guys, I thank you for tuning in. Have a happy Friday and Forza Barca.